just made $50 turn to $100. And I think that day right there is the day that like caused me a lot of problems for the rest of my life. The plan was to get the guns to this other truck that I had. And when we got to that truck, we're gonna swap everything out and I'm gonna burn this truck up that I just drove through the pawn shop with. My brother, he's bugging out. So he gets out the car and just takes off running from us like, y'all are crazy. We get away. We really set that truck on fire, burn it up, and we get into another truck and we drive home. My brother has gotten picked up by the cops. He told everybody but me. Yep, he's been picked up and he told them that 2 white guys kidnapped him and made him rob a store with them. Stupidest shit ever. So I just knew to watch the cops. I knew what shift they worked. I watch your wife go to work. I know what time she come home from work. It's a small town. I'm watching, so I know it. This you got a 6-hour window from right here. Like this is some funny shit. It has been times that I would know my window was long and I would break in the cop house and cook me some food and shit. And I took the guns and I went crazy with my camera phone. The same stupid stuff these guys
on MySpace?
On MySpace. God, bro. I was the first guy to go viral and go to jail.
Hey, this is Matt Cox, and we're going to do an interview with Ramirez Grable. He is a former, I'm going to go with gun runner, and he's got an interesting story, so check out the video. Where were you born?
I was born in Augusta, Georgia, 1983. My mom and dad moved to Milledgeville, Georgia, around about when I was, I want to say, 8 years old, maybe 9.
Do you have any brothers or sisters or anything like that?
Yep. So I grew up with one sibling. His name is Christopher Grable, and we grew up in the same home, same mom, same dad. My dad went out and had a child out of wedlock. He went and had a child out of wedlock, and I had another brother. And we grew up in a small town, Milledgeville, Georgia. It's probably like 30 minutes south of Atlanta, 45 minutes south of Atlanta. It is very, very small town, but it's very urban. It's a lot of blacks. Georgia has a lot of blacks anyway. So I just grew up in a small town. But I did not grow up on the black side of town. I grew up on the side of town with the white kids because I was fortunate enough to have a mom and a dad and so forth. So as time goes on, my mom and dad are working a lot of hours. I'm getting a little older, so they're not home as much. So at age like 12 or 13 is when I started really like, let me go outside. Let me see what's going on outside. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that turned out kind of crazy because now that everybody in my neighborhood knows that my mom and dad is never home. So my house is, the hangout house. You got that friend whose house is like, go to his house. It's the cool house. His mom, dad never there. That was kind of like my house. So this is how I get into guns, but I'm gonna give you a quick backstory of just how I get into the situation. So while I'm outside hanging with my friends, I meet this dude, and he says that he has a friend that has marijuana. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to try to smoke some weed today. At this time, I'm like 13. So the dude with the marijuana lives in another neighborhood in this same little town. So we go get the weed, and we hang out for maybe 30, 40 minutes, and my mind is just blown away. Because, mind you, I've been in the country, in the suburbs my whole life. And this is my first time going to like a city where it's like real hoods. Like I haven't never seen this shit before in my ever, and I'm young. So my mind is blown away. Dudes is outside walking around with guns and everybody smoking weed and girls walking around. And, it's just that shit you see on TV type hood environment. So I instantly was attracted to that. So I started going back over there, hanging around, and it was me, 2 of my white friends from my neighborhood, and the dude I now met in this other neighborhood. We formed a little group. We started hanging out. Boom. So my first way of getting money was just hustling crack, because that's what everybody was doing in his neighborhood. They were hustling crack. So I'm like, how do you do that? Like, give me the game. I want to make some money. So He like, listen, it's simple. I'm gonna give you 5 of these for $10 a piece. They sell for $20 a piece on the block. All you gotta do is give me $50, go outside, make you $100. I'm 13 years old. I can't believe this shit. I went outside, it shit happened. It worked. I made some money. I'm like, wow, I just made $50 turn into $100. And I think that day right there is the day that like caused me a lot of problems for the rest of my life. Like up until a few years back, that day right there, like it was so crazy to me how my mom and dad work hard for their money. They get paid once a week. I can go outside and make 50, turn to 100 that quick, not thinking about the consequences. I'm just a young mind. So time's going on, and I'm getting just more and more into the street life. So we started breaking in cars, and that's how my gun journey first started. We started breaking in cars, and this is in Georgia in the mid '90s. No cameras, ain't no iPhones, ain't no doorbell cameras, ain't none of that stuff going on in the mid '90s. So we really out here just going crazy. So we finding guns now in the town that I live in. The city of Milledgeville, Georgia, you can Google this. Milledgeville, Georgia. It's one of the worst gang infested cities in Georgia. It's Bloods, it's Crips, it's GDs, it's every gang in the world is in that small town. Except I told you, I'm not from that area. I live in the suburbs. So we breaking in cars, we getting all the guns. The dudes in school, like, yo, we need the guns because they gang bang. So, I get known in the streets for selling drugs, and I have guns every now and then. So all the dudes who gangbang come to me and get their guns. So I never forget this, man. A couple years go by, and it's just, breaking in cars. That turned to breaking in houses. And then we got kind of slick with it. We like, you know what? A cop live right there. So we break in the cop house. It's for sure some guns going to be in there.
That's a bad idea.
Crazy shit. But we young, bro. We ain't even 17 yet. And like I said, cameras and all that stuff wasn't really popular back then, especially in Georgia. It's very, very poverty-stricken place, except Atlanta. Atlanta and Savannah, maybe the only 2 cities in Georgia that really has some money and is thriving. So anyway, started doing that. Started breaking in cops' houses, getting their shotguns, they XD handguns, and just crazy stuff. So I'm known for that now. I'm the gun guy, and I'm the guy with the whatever you want, I can get it. So I never forget this, man. I say maybe it's 2000 now. It's the year 2000. I'm probably 18, and this is true story. This is facts. Like we watching Set It Off, the movie. Me, my brother, my white friend, and his brother. His name is Ronnie Holder. Shout out Ronnie Holder. He's doing life right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he some people just never leave that life alone, So but he's doing life right now in Georgia State Prison. So we watching Set It Off, and we just amazed that they really drove a truck through this bank and robbed the bank. We like, that shit was so cool to us. And like, I can really say this, and I want to say this. All that shit I was doing back then, bro, a lot of it had to do with my intake, which was rap music and these crazy ass movies that were coming out, Mental Society, Boys in the Hood. That shit is like bad on a child. You know what I'm saying? So my intake is like, I'm not knowing that these guys is acting and these rappers is acting. I think they're doing this shit for real that they talking about. You feel me?
Right.
So I'm doing this shit for real. You know what I'm saying? So we watching Set It Off. We like, that shit's cool. We should just go break in the pawn shop and just get all the guns out the pawn shop. And in Georgia, most of the pawn shops sell guns because they got very lenient laws in Georgia when it comes to firearms. So you can get a firearm at any local pawn shop on any corner. They have guns in there, and so we're gonna break in the pawn shop. We're gonna drive a truck through the pawn shop at night. We're gonna get all the guns and we're gonna pull off, like, Set It Off. That's what we thinking out here. So one night we in the room just smoking, and me, I always been like ahead of my time. Like, my thinking was on an adult level. Like, I always thought on an adult level. So I'm like, I'm in the room one day and I'm just putting this plan together. This is something we talked about, but we haven't put any action to it. But in my head, I'm really trying to put this plan together because I just want to do this shit. So I put the plan together. Like, listen, it's a 4x4 truck up the street at this used car lot. This back 2000, they still had the key box to the cars on the windows of the cars. So the car keys is actually on the side of the window of the car in a little box.
Yeah, but it's got that little key that pops that only they got.
Yep.
So you gotta break into the box once you get it off the window.
Exactly. So that night, I wanted to do that job because I really didn't want to drive through the pawn shop. And I made the plan, and I knew that if I did this one part, was to get the main truck, I got in. You feel me? So I went in there, got the key box off the truck, took it back home with me, broke inside of it, obviously. And this car lot that I stole this car from was called Junior's Auto Sale. And it had like a wooden fence around it, not like metal, but it was like an old Western theme. It was like logs on top of logs to make a fence type thing. So you could like just pull that shit out the ground, basically, for real. Like, so that night came, I took the truck. I pulled the logs out the ground, I drove the truck off. This truck really was like a monster truck almost. Like it had those big ass mud tires on it. It's the perfect shit that you want to drive through a building with. You feel me? So my brother and my two friends, they can't believe their eyes. They're like, yo, you're fucking crazy. You really got the truck. I'm like, well, what's up? What we gonna do? We gonna do this shit or what? So my friend, Ronnie, his brother, and my brother, they agreed to get in the truck and go do it. I'm gonna meet them after the robbery in another truck up the street. So what happened is this. They try to just ram the door one time. It really didn't work that good because they scared to just like give it all they got. So by the time they did get into the building, the cops was kind of like alerted, but they got away with a whole bunch of guns, assault rifles, pistols, Glocks. I didn't even know they made 9mm rifles. I didn't know they made like all this crazy shit. This is back when Tech 9s were popular and stuff like that. And we took a lot of that stuff. And the plan was to get the guns to this other truck that I had. And when we got to that truck, we're gonna swap everything out, and I'm gonna burn this truck up that I just drove through the pawn shop with. It's a great idea, right? My brother's freaking out. He's like, nah, bro, y'all going too far. You're going too far. I don't want no parts of that crazy shit. You gonna blow the truck up. Yeah, we gotta burn the truck up. My brother, he's bugging out. So he gets out the car and just takes off running from us like, y'all are crazy.
I mean, that's no worse than already breaking in the pawn shop with the guns. I mean, you're past the point of no return.
We passed the point of no
leave it there with
return.
your prints on it.
We got to get rid of this truck. It got too many ways to track it back to us. But my brother, this is first time. He really never even hangs with me at this point. When I'm in the streets doing what I'm doing, my little brother don't really hang with me. But this one time, he want to go. So he jump out the truck and run. So we get away. We really set that truck on fire, burn it up, and we get into another truck and we drive home. My brother has gotten picked up by the cops.
For what?
Walking from a crime scene.
Is that illegal?
Black walking from a crime scene. But it's a small town.
Right.
You know, it's a small town. It's a young guy walking the same direction that this robbery just got called in at. So it's a true story. I'm not gonna say my brother's name on camera, but right. They picked my brother up and he told everybody but me.
I mean, couldn't he just said, I'm just walking? Like it was just, what are you doing? I'm walking.
They scared him. They got him, and he's a kid, man. He's just turned 17. I'm 18. He's a year younger than me.
You're going to jail for 10 years. We know you did it. We have surveillance photos. There's what 2 people saw you get dropped off. We know.
The crazy part about it.
Paul and Billy did it.
The crazy part about it, that place didn't have no cameras at all at that time.
Yeah, I know that, but your brother doesn't know. You know, there was a camera on the McDonald's across the street. We got another one on the. They just lie to you, and you just start telling.
So we get back home, and we got bulletproof vests, we got guns, we got all this shit, and like my adrenaline
from the pawn shop.
From the pawn shop.
Okay.
They sell uniforms for cops, equipment. It's like it's a pawn shop / gun store.
Okay.
But if anybody who's watching is from Georgia, they can vouch for this. Like y'all seen those. It's a pawn shop / gun store in the same
Oh,
buildings.
I'm in Florida. They sell guns in all the pawn shops. They all
Okay, so
got
you
guns. They all got.
so you get the
They'll
kind of
buy pretty much anything that they think they can sell.
so it was that kind of setup, but it was also like police friendly. They had like uniforms and vests and tactical shit. So so we get back home and we're not even thinking about my brother at this point. We kind of put this shit up in safe places. We pick what we want. You get this, you get that. Long story short, so now we sitting back chilling and smoking. Like, hold on, what the fuck, my brother at? So I'm tripping out now. Where my brother at? So my two homeboys with the other truck, they were like, we finna go find him. I'm like, man, I ain't getting back in that truck with y'all tonight. That shit's just not gonna happen. Like, nah, I don't think we should go back out there. They're like, man, it's your brother, man. Let's go. We gotta go find him. I'm like, y'all go find him, bro. I'm gonna chill right here. Like, they leave, not knowing that my brother has been picked up, and he told them that I was with two other white guys.
So wait a second.
He said they kicked. Go ahead.
Okay, look, I'm saying, isn't the truck fucked up? How are you still driving the truck? It's not damaged.
You remember I said the truck that we drove, we switched out to another truck.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Sorry, I missed that. Go ahead.
We burned that truck up.
Yeah, I thought you hadn't burned the truck yet.
Yeah. We got
all you said was your brother got out and got picked up. I thought you guys are still driving around the same truck.
Okay, I was moving too fast.
Sorry, go ahead.
So when my brother got out and ran, we just went on with the operation. We had another truck set up somewhere. Well, I was in the other truck.
Right.
They come back to me like, your brother, he hauled ass on us. He didn't want no more. So they get back to me in the other truck. My brother's not with us no more. He's walking. Boom.
My bad.
Now we switch trucks. We leave that truck in a wooded area. We set it on fire. We get in this truck, go back to my mom's house.
Okay.
Because they looking for the red truck, probably. You feel me? So we go back to my mom's house. And when we get there, we separate things, split stuff up, you know what I'm saying? And after we chilling for a little while, we're like, where the fuck my brother at? So they want to go find him. I don't. Right. I'm scared as shit still. Like, I just can't believe I just did this crazy ass shit. And at this point, you hear the sirens, you hear the police cars, you see the lights. Like, this shit was like, this is no lie, bro, the worst idea ever. That shit was like half a mile from my house where we did this at.
Right.
So I hear you see all the action going towards that way. I'm like, nah, ain't no way I'm going to find him right now. So they want to go find him, and I guess they also want to go take their guns home that they got out the deal. So when they leave, they don't know that my brother's been picked up. Yep, he's been picked up, and he told them that two white guys kidnapped him and made him rob a store with them. Stupidest shit ever.
Okay. I'm sure the cops didn't believe that. They didn't believe that.
They didn't believe it. Fuck no. So that night, nobody came back to me. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm too young to like, I'm not about to call around to the jails and shit. I'm just like, I feel like something bad happened, but I don't know. And we're young, so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so probably that next morning, like 9 o'clock, cops come to my house, knock on the door. They try to get me to tell them something. They know for sure you know something. Everybody left your house last night. We know that. They went to rob this store. You wasn't with them. We know that, but you got to know where the guns are. You got to know something. I don't know shit about shit. I wasn't with them. I don't know nothing. They pressed me, take me to the station, and try to scare me up. I ain't break. And luckily, my two friends, the two other brothers, they didn't tell on me. But they're mad and calling my phone like, your fucking brother's a rat. I'm like, yo. It was so I'm still free. They write me a letter and tell me where all the other guns are. I tell you, bro, I ain't never had no shit like that in my life. Like, people to this day who know me for that, like, bro, you one crazy motherfucker. Like, I had so many guns. And so what happened was I just was selling guns to everybody. Everybody all the rival gang members who needed guns, I got them.
What about the two guys? Like, what happened to them?
They're in jail right now.
Oh, for that?
Yeah. Well, not today, but in this story.
Okay. At this point, they're still just in jail.
Yeah.
So they haven't been sentenced. They didn't get bond.
No, not yet. not
Okay.
anything.
All
Okay,
right.
so they're in jail. Both of those guys was on probation. My brother was not on probation, but he had a bond that was ridiculously high, and my mom couldn't make it, so he had to sit in jail for a while. So I started moving the guns. I'm selling the guns, and just being crazy with it. So that right there started me on, like, I want to say, like, I was branded, like I'm the gun guy, and that felt good to me that everybody needed me for something. That felt good to me. So I got to keep this going. I got to figure out how to keep this going. So what happens is they get sentenced to like 5 years each, plus with Georgia back then. Georgia give you a sentence like this: 20 serve 5.
Okay.
20 serve 5 is a 20-year sentence. You're gonna serve 5, and the other 15 is on probation.
Fuck, 15 years of probation?
Yeah, that's how they trick you in Georgia.
That
That's how they
sucks.
get
And
you
then
in Georgia.
if you get in trouble at all, you can go back for the whole thing, right?
Yes.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But they have to, that charge, they had to give you 20 years for that charge, but you don't have to serve it in prison. You just have to get that number. You see what I'm saying? So that's 20 served 5. My brother ended up getting 10 years probation. He ended up coming home. He told. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
You feel me? I say I'm not gonna say his name on here, but he told. So he ended up coming home on probation. Now, a few months go by, all the guns I had are gone, but my phone's still ringing. I'm still hungry for money. I gotta keep this shit going. So eventually, at some point, I joined the gang, the Crips. Gang banging was getting more and more popular in Georgia. It was growing, and eventually I just got into it. I started hanging on the other side of town more than where I grew up at this point. So now I'm just all in. I started gang banging, and from that point, I started teaching younger members how to break in police houses and steal police guns.
Specifically police?
Specifically police, because they got a lot of shit in there. Because I'm young and dumb, but I haven't been caught yet.
Yeah.
You got to think about that.
Yeah, so you still think you're invincible. You still think like they ain't gonna catch me. I'm too smart. I'm too good.
Everybody that before you go to jail, you think it can't happen to you.
Yeah.
Can't happen to me.
Those other guys went to jail because they're stupid. Not me.
Not me. I'm making other people do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. And a lot of the neighborhood cops, they were mad about that shit too. Because
I'm sure.
Because like I said, back then it wasn't no doorbell camera, it wasn't no iPhones, it wasn't none of that technology. And to have a home system back then was probably kind of expensive. So I just knew to watch the cops. I knew what shift they worked. I watch your wife go to work. I know what time she come home from work. It's a small town. I'm watching. So I know it. This you got a 6-hour window from right here. Like this is some funny shit. It has been times that I would know my window was long and I would break in the cop house and cook me some food and shit. This is real talk.
Listen, that's what makes them hate you. Like that's the kind of shit that makes them hate you.
I'm not proud of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've been shamed, but this is the story that is crazy. So man, I'm doing that, and I got a lot of stripes in this game because I was the guy that could get the weapons and stuff. It all started to fall down towards 2006, 7. At this point, I got to bag up a little bit. I end up catching a case, but not for guns. It was for drugs. I caught a drug possession case. I end up going to jail. I served a couple years from 2000 to 2000. No, from 2004 to 2006. I came home 2006, and that's when I tried to do that stupid shit again. And that's now as MySpace is out now. You know what I'm saying? Camera phones are out now.
Right.
And I just got out of jail, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm back on my bullshit. I'm breaking in houses. I'm stealing I'm stealing police guns, and I run across these 2 Mac 11s, and they had the shoulder sling going on. It was brand new with the muzzle, the cooling system. It was like the coolest shit ever. And that was for a cop. And I took the guns, and I went crazy with my camera phone. The same stupid stuff these guys
on MySpace.
On MySpace. God, bro. I was the first guy to go viral and go to jail. And
I knew a guy that robbed the bank. Listen, I knew a guy that robbed the bank, put the money all around him and took pictures and put it on Facebook, and the bands were still on and like the places just got robbed. Like people he knew, it went crazy. People called the bank and said, or people called the cops and said, didn't a bank get robbed like yesterday? Like, you need to look at this. Boom. We arrested him. They had him arrested within a day or two.
Yo, that's crazy.
You just don't think they're going to put it together that fast.
You don't. And another thing is this. People, the way my stuff went viral is because, like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a certain group of people that wanted me to go to jail because they felt like I was dangerous, bro. I was providing guns to people who were really killers. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Like a lot of older people didn't like me for that because they heard about me. Like, that's that guy who getting all these guns, and you know what I'm saying? So I got 2 Mac 11s. Oh, and the crazy part about these 2 Mac 11s, I had 20 clips. This cop had 2 Mac 11s and 20 clips loaded in his closet in his house. I guess, but this gun wasn't a fully automatic gun, so it was legal. It was a semi-automatic gun, but it was a Mac 11 for sure. And long story short, I put it on MySpace. I sent the pictures out, and it wasn't even 2 days. The cops came and got me. Wasn't even 2 days later. It wasn't even the cops. I'm sorry, my probation officer.
Oh, do you remember of your MySpace?
My probation officer. No, I don't know if he got it from MySpace, but he just got the word. And in Georgia, I don't know about Florida, but they don't need a warrant if you're on probation.
They come right in your house.
So they brought him to make it stick, kind of like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let the PO search the house. We told you can't go wrong here. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
the PO could give consent.
Exactly. So my PO called me. He said, "Hey, I'm about to do a field check. You know, just come outside and wave your hand. I just want to know, do you still live there?" That's some normal shit what he does, a field check. He pull up, say, "Hey, how you doing?" He leave. He tricked me. All right, yeah, come on for the field check. He pull up and he started talking to me, and he never came with another guy in the car. I said, "Who's that in the car?" "Oh, that's my chief. He's the chief of probation." Next thing you know, a police car pulls in, a sheriff car pulls in, detective pulls in. I'm like, what the fuck? He like, "Yeah, man, you going to jail. Like, we've been told you got guns in your house. We're about to go search it. So I'm just locking you up right now for probation violation. Put your hands behind your back." Put me in the car for probation violation, shoot me away. They find the guns. They found some drugs. I'm on state probation. My parole officer come to the county jail maybe after me being locked up for a month, and he says, "Sign this waiver saying that you're guilty, and you can just go do 6 months in prison, and I'll kill your probation. You come, and then when you get done with that, you'll have to face your new charges. But you could just just give me 6 months, and I terminate your probation. I mean your parole. I'm sorry, not probation, your parole. Because the 2 years I only did like 18 months, and I had 40 months on parole when I came home. So I caught a new charge. I go do 6 months. He killed my parole. Boom. I get back to the county jail. I'm happy. I'm like, yes, I'm about to make bail. I'm about to fight this gun case with all I got because it wasn't my apartment. It wasn't my house. All these shits in my head. I'm about to beat this shit. So when I get back to the county jail after doing my 6 months, the judge keeps denying my bond hearing. He's like, "No, not today. I scheduled for next week. The next week come, you ain't got court today." The judge, he put it back again. I'm like, why I don't got no parole holding me, no detainers. Why won't you give me a bond?
Are they waiting for the ATF to indict you or for you to be indicted?
There you go. So now my family's bugging out. They calling the jail captain. Why my son don't got no bond? The U.S. Marshals got waiting to see him. I don't know who that is. I'm like, the U.S. Marshals? Fuck is that? I don't know that's the federal government. I'm not putting that together right now in my head. Like, the U.S. Marshals want to see me.
How old are you at this point?
At this time, 25.
Okay.
Yep, I did a bid, came home, and now I'm 25 at this point. So maybe this after I heard the U.S. Marshals wanted to see me, maybe 2 nights later, I get a visit. They say Ramirez visit. It's nighttime. I'm like, who the fuck? We don't even have visits at nighttime. I go into this little room, and it's a maybe middle-aged white lady in there. She's like, "Hi, I'm from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and are you Ramirez?" I'm like,
From the FBI or the ATF?
FBI.
FBI. Oh, okay.
The ATF had my case, but she was just like a representative to tell me what was going on, that I would be moved to a federal jail. Because this county jail is a small county jail. They don't hold federal inmates. So she was just somebody that I never saw her again. She just came to tell me that they picked my case up and I was going to be in federal custody and I'd be leaving this place soon. So I'm sick now. I'm sick. I'm like, the feds want me for, I'm like, yo. And most of my homeboys that get fed cases do 10, 15, 20 years. So I'm here. I'm going through it. I'm thinking I'm going home on a bond, and now I'm going to a whole nother facility. So that very next night, during a day, they took me to a federal jail in Jones County, Georgia. I went in front of a judge, and he gave me a bond. He said he gave me a $2,500 cash bail, and he said only because because they found some marijuana and they found the 2 Mac 11s. The DA told me that we're gonna drop the marijuana, and you can just plead guilty to the Mac 11s, and we'll give you a bond, and we'll work a deal with you when you go to court. But if you plead, but he said here's the catch to it: if you plead out to the marijuana, you can get the drug program and get a year after your sentence, but you can't go home on a bond. We don't let drug dealers go home on bond. Like you get a drug case with the feds, that's what they telling me. If you got a drug case, we're not letting you go home. But if you only just take the guns and plead out to that, we'll drop the weed and let you make bail. But this whole time they know I'm a gang member too, and they want me to tell for real. But I don't know this at this point. I'm like, all right, cool. I plead out to the gun if y'all drop the weed. Let me go home for a little while with my family, and I come do my time. Boom. I make bail. When I make bail, my appointed federal lawyer calls me. I'll never forget, Catherine Leak. She was like, hey, they want to debrief you at the courthouse. I'm like, they want to debrief me. Who is they? She was like, the ATF and, the people who got your case, they want to talk to you about some stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. I go to the courthouse. It was one of those meetings. Look, man, you only got these guns and, this dude in your neighborhood sells drugs and this dude in your neighborhood does this and who's your gang leader and all this old crap. And I wasn't talking to him. And so the dude was like, well, if you ever want to help yourself out, man, you probably go do it probably about 10 years. If you talk to us, you might get it down to about 2. So he gave me his card. Now, I would be a lie if I said I didn't think about it. It didn't cross my mind. I would be lying to you because I'm free. My kid, now at this time, I got a small child. And I'm like, so it's in my mind, but I know that whatever time I'm about to do is not going to be forever. And I feel like I wanted to still be an entertainer. I still wanted to do music. And I just didn't want to have a bad name from where I'm from, and people you can get killed. And I'm a gang member. You feel me? Everybody go to federal prison. So, you know what I'm saying? So I just chose to do my time. So I ended up taking 70 months. But my guideline was 70 to like 100 months or something. Like 70 to 100 months was my guideline. And I went in front of the worst judge, bro. And I really thought he give everybody the high end. He gives everybody the high number. Like when I got my judge, the whole jail was like, yeah, you're done. He's gonna give you 100 months, which is almost 10 years. What saved me was my dad, the same guy I told you that went to college, that raised me. He worked for the Department of Corrections, but on the state level. And he showed up to my court sentencing. And he was like, I work for the Department of Corrections and I don't agree with my son and I hate criminals, this little speech. And the judge gave me 70 months, bro. And the only reason I wasn't an armed career criminal because my drug charge before that wasn't intent to deliver. it was just a possession. So they couldn't
Right.
give me with an armed career criminal. It was only a 922G. But
I mean,
I
I'm
got so much
surprised.
time because I was category 6 though, because I got
Yeah,
all this.
I was gonna say because you got to get 5 years. No matter what, you had to get 5 years. So but
Yeah,
your criminal history was already pretty high. So
yeah.
that's why you end up getting with the 70 months instead of the 60.
But some people get 922Gs and don't get 5 years though. But they beat most of the people with no record. Their first offense, get caught with like a little handgun.
Yeah, they'll get
Like
3 years. The minimum, like if I had a
you'll get
gun, I'm getting 3 years. But if I had a drug charge or was caught with a gun and drugs, I'm getting 5.
right.
You already had a drug charge,
I
so
did.
you weren't getting less than 60 months
Right.
unless you cooperate.
Exactly. So my
Right.
guideline was 70 to 87 months. Um, that was with the 2-point reduction for playing out.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
that it was some higher shit. But so yeah. So actually what happened, I ended up doing that time and I came home from federal prison in 2014 and I didn't go back to Georgia. I still go back and visit like every year. I go back home and I do shows, I do music and stuff like that. And what I always wanted to do. And I didn't want that name of snitch on me. You feel what I'm saying? So now I'm back home. I got my music going. People in my city play my music. They come to my shows and stuff. So I feel good about that. But I moved to Pennsylvania and I just walked away
Why,
from gang
why
banging. I walked away
Pennsylvania?
from all of it, huh?
Why Pennsylvania?
So while I was doing my federal time, my mom and dad got a final divorce. And my mom is originally from here. So when her and my dad divorced, she moved here. But my brothers, my dad, my kids, everybody is still in Georgia. I just knew that if I came home around those same people in that same area, the chances of me doing something different in my life is going to be slim. Only because when you grow up somewhere and you stay there, it forces you to be around certain people and you can't escape it. They know where you at. They know where you live. They're going to come to your house and they're going to come to your job. And you just got to leave sometime. Some far where they can't come, you know what I'm saying? So I came to Pennsylvania. And I did good for 2 years. That was 2014. It's 2023 now. So I've been here a long time. I did good for 2 years. And I went through a struggle. I ended up starting a cleaning business when I first got out of the feds. I did a cleaning business. And it did well. Me and this girl I met, we started cleaning business. It did well. And then me and her broke up, and she hit me for everything because it was in her name. Because I'm on federal probation. We got bank contracts, all this stuff, so it's in her name. We broke up. She took everything. I'm back to square one. What do my stupid ass do? Let me sell some drugs in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Let me sell some drugs in Pennsylvania. I tried that for about 8 months. Is all it took. And a dude I was dealing with set up a controlled buy, and here I go with a federal violation. Federal violation, controlled buy.
How did that go? How did that go? What were you selling?
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yep. I sold this dude an 8-ball, and he had got caught a day or two before. And he told his cop this big story that this guy from Georgia is bringing all the drugs up here to Pennsylvania, like put all this sauce on it. And they set up a controlled buy. But the plan was to make 3 buys on me and then come into my house and get the stash. So, but after the first buy that they got from me, I ended up going to rehab. And let me give you let me just give you this last little story about how that happened. So, I'm selling the drugs. I'm going through it. My girlfriend left me. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm going back to what I started in the beginning. I'm selling drugs. So I end up catching the case. Boom. Well, sorry. I end up selling to a dude that's cooperating. But when I sell him the drugs, I also go piss dirty for my probation officer. I'm pissing dirty for cocaine because I'm dealing with this shit. I'm putting it in my hands and it gets in your pores. So my PO like, look, you need to go to rehab or I'm going to have to tell the judge to violate you. You keep on having cocaine in your system. And I'm like, bro, I don't get high. He like, I don't want to, fuck it. You got to go to rehab or go back to jail. So after they get the one buy from me, I go to rehab.
You didn't explain to him, I'm not getting high. I'm just dealing. That wasn't that wasn't the way you went.
So yeah, probation officer, I just sell drugs, sir.
Yeah.
I don't do the shit. No way, not that. So it was crazy, man. This is a great story right here to end it with on how that worked out for me. So I go to rehab. I don't know how I have a controlled by over my head. So I go to rehab and I get back out of jail. I
How
mean,
long
not
was
jail.
rehab?
I was in rehab for 30 days, inpatient. I come home from rehab and I'm driving my car 2 days later and I get pulled over by the cops for a tail light. They pulled me over, run my name, and said, "You have a warrant for your arrest for money laundering." That's what they tell me on the side of the road. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, I just got out of rehab 2 days ago, and my probation officer knew I was in rehab the whole time. He didn't mention anything about no warrants. You got the wrong guy. So he like, I believe you because this is a weird type of warrant to have a money. He like, I'm gonna call the station and see if they want me to bring you in. So he calls them, and they're like, yeah, we want him. Bring him in. And I get there, and they're like, it's not money laundering. You have a controlled buy of a narcotic. You sold to a. And when I read the paperwork, it's the dude. I'm like, fuck. So here I go again. Been out of rehab 2 days, and I'm back in the county jail. I call my probation officer and I say, please lift my detainer and let me make bail so I can fight this case from the street. I need a fair chance at beating this. I'm innocent. I just want to get me a lawyer. I can't fight it from behind these walls. I don't have enough money. He was like, nah, I'm not dealing with you. You sold drugs on probation. You stand in jail if you fight from jail. So this is what happened. I'm doing time in Montgomery County facility in Pennsylvania. And I get a cellie, and he's been to the feds before. And I tell him the same story I'm telling you about the controlled by and the rehab. So he was like, your probation officer don't really run anything. It's your back judge. He was like, if you really went to rehab and you just passed it and you got the paper saying you went to rehab and you made that cell before you went to rehab, write your judge and tell him you had a drug problem and you went to rehab, you're clean and you want to make bail and fight your case from the street. I don't think for one chance in hell this is gonna work. But I'm in jail. It's a long shot. I write it. I'm on the phone with my girl maybe 2 weeks later. They do mail call. I get the mail and I'm looking at it and it's like court papers. But I'm thinking it's for the drug case because it's a state case. So my girl like read the papers. I'm like, it's just court shit. I ain't reading that shit. I want to talk on the phone for my 15 minutes. I don't got but one phone call. I'm not gonna read my mail on the phone with you. She was like, just read it. And I looked at it. I'm like, oh shit, it's from the feds. And I read it, and the judge said, I grant you the motion for bail. So I went down to the federal jail for a bond hearing, and he let me go.
Nice.
He said, I got your letter, and he said, I see what the PO told you to go to rehab, he told you to get a job, and you complied, and you didn't give him no hassle about it. You went in rehab, you got a job, you complied. So I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna let you bond out and fight your case from the street. And so I bailed out, and this shit was unbelievable. They gave me a ankle monitor, but I can't lie, I'm stressing. I'm stressing because I'm guilty, and I don't know how I'm gonna beat this shit. I don't know what they got on me. So end of the day, I'm about to go to trial. Is what I'm telling the courts. I'm about to go to trial. Fuck it.
That's a mistake.
Because what the federal government is telling me is if you violate for this type of violation, if you get found guilty, that's 3 years with us. Plus whatever they give you for this charge in Pennsylvania state.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, they was gonna give me 3 years for that violation because I had 3 years on probation, federal probation. That came after my time. Yeah. So they was gonna revoke all, give me all of that, even though I only had 6 months left on it. They was gonna give me the whole 3 if I pled guilty to drug sale. So I told the courts I'm going to trial, and I'm really trying to pump fake them so they can give me a real low deal. I'm telling myself like I'll take a 1 to 3 up and then go do 3 for the feds. But I'm really stressed the fuck out, man. So I'm telling these people I'm going to trial. I'm going to trial. And what happened was the feds got tired of me waiting to go to trial. And, at this time, I'm smoking hella weed, I'm drinking hella beer, and I'm pissing dirty for my PO while on the leg monitor, while waiting to go to trial. And he's like, Grable, why are you getting high, bro? And I'm like, listen, man, have you ever been facing 5 years in jail? Have you ever been facing that much time? And you know what I'm saying? I'm about to, like, this is some stressful shit. That's why I'm getting high. So he was like, man, you got to get out the streets. So what happened was the feds got tired of waiting on me to go to trial, and they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. One day, my lawyer called me and said, hey, the DA got a deal for you. He said, because you're on leg monitor and you're doing drugs and you're stressed out. He said, go get him a year and a day before you plead guilty, before you go to trial, before you do anything. Give him a year and a day, and they'll let you out federal probation. You only got 6 months left on it. Right. If you go to court and get found guilty, they'll give you 3 years. Take a year and a day right now, and we're done with you because you're hard to supervise. We don't want no more dealing with you. Take this year and a day. And I thought about it for 20 minutes. I said, oh, I'll take it. You feel me? Because now I can go run with this case, and, you know, I could parole out of Pennsylvania or something, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to deal with the feds 3 years and that case. So I signed the waiver, and I went to Hazleton FCI, 2018, where they killed Whitey Bulger at. I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He came, got out the bus one night. The whole compound couldn't believe it. Whitey Bulger is here. The next morning, he was dead. He didn't make it to breakfast.
I didn't know it happened that. I didn't realize it was okay.
He didn't make it to breakfast. When they went and checked his cell again, he was dead with his tongue cut out of his mouth. They locked us down for 3 days in our cell. Then after that, life went on.
And you were in the same facility, or I mean, in the same prison?
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't he in like a pen?
Yeah. So Hazleton FCI is a complex.
Okay.
They got a low, medium, camp, and a pen.
And you were in the pen.
I was in the medium.
Okay, he was in the pen.
He was in the pen.
Okay, so okay.
But you know, this is such big news that the compound knew it. He was coming. And in my mind, I'm saying he's not gonna walk in population because he's told on people, he's cooperated.
Right.
So in my mind, like, you're not gonna come on the yard of a pen and just walk around and like, no, I don't think he's gonna do that. So, but he does. And you know, like I know, in the federal jail, they ask you, have you ever told on somebody? Do you feel safe walking around here? Do you want to be in population? If you say yes, they put you in population. So when I said he came to population, I was like, what the fuck? And he didn't make it a day. That's crazy.
They should have put him in the medium or the low. He was an old man. He's not an escape risk.
Man. I kind of feel like it was suicide. Like he wanted it almost. Like because he had to know, right?
Oh yeah, listen, but he went to trial, and the whole time during the trial, that whole trial was basically about him trying to prove that he didn't cooperate. You understand? He never said he cooperated. He went to trial so that he was like, prove that I cooperated.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was saying that the FBI made it sound like he cooperated, but he never really cooperated. But it didn't matter. By that point, everybody already believes that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody says you're a rat, even if there's no proof and other people start saying it, it's almost impossible for you to prove that that's not true. So now you're going to be fighting for the next fucking few years of your sentence, even though you're like, I didn't say anything. But some asshole said it. Everybody else spread the rumor, and it's just impossible to get it off of you.
That's one of the hardest jackets to get off your name. If somebody calls you a snitch or a rat, it's like you got to really go find your transcripts and do all this stupid shit to prove that. And you're right. I didn't even know that he was trying to say that.
Yeah, there's a documentary on it where his lawyers are interviewed, and they're saying they think that Connolly, the FBI agent, they think Connolly made it look like he was cooperating to protect him because he's paying him. Like, he's paying him to give him information. And Connolly is getting the information by saying Bulger is cooperating. But most of the cooperation Connolly was taking from other people who were giving information and saying it came from Bulger.
Okay.
Bulger always insisted he never cooperated. Like, he knew he was going to prison forever. They were saying, look, we'll just give you like 30 years. And he was saying, no, I want to go to trial because I want to prove at trial that I did not cooperate. Because he knew he's going. He knows he's done. He's dying in prison.
So he did really want to walk comfortably.
Yeah, I guess he thought, he was hoping that it would come out and people would understand that it wasn't true.
Right.
You know, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I just know that during the trial, that was really the big reason for him to go to trial, because he knew he knew he's guilty. He's going to prison forever. He's going to die in prison. But anyway, I hear you. So they killed him that day. Did they lock everybody down in the whole facility?
Yeah, they locked us down for 3 days, and we didn't. At first, we didn't know why, but everybody knew Whitey Bulger came there because the guards and stuff. Whitey Bulger just came to the pen. So we're like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then the next morning, we didn't come out for breakfast. We're on lockdown, but 6 o'clock news come on.
Yeah,
I watching TV in the dorm, like Whitey Bulger died at Hazleton. I was like, whoa, that's why we locked down. It's crazy, just that quick. Like, I can't tell no grown person what to do, because people have kids and family members. And if you want to get back home to your family, I kind of understand. It's just something I'm not willing to do, because just by me going to prison, I know that a lot of people don't live comfortably once you decide to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't. Some people do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have to be in a cell by themselves the whole time they're in prison because of that. So I just chose not to. But I don't judge people,
So what happened? So you got out.
So after that last time, I went to the violation and all that stuff happened. By this time, I'm 30 something. And I'm looking around at all these guys who are 21, 22, and I just feel out of place. Like, I can't keep doing this shit. I'm about to be 40 years old. Like, this shit just got to stop. So the last time I got out, I buckled down. I learned how to do technology. I got me a couple YouTube channels. I monetized my Instagram. Like I said, I do music. I got a recording studio that I work at. I edit content for people. And I just decided I left all that shit alone, man. People that know me from back then can't believe me right now. Like how I am now, they be like, I can't believe you. Like, I thought you was gonna really be dead or in jail forever. Like, I was that crazy.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's BMG Capo official.
Oh, okay. It's the
yep. That's why I got it right there.
You should put the at YouTube.
On YouTube, Instagram, it's all the same. BMG Capo official at YouTube. But I also have another channel that it's a faceless channel, but it's called TTOM TV, where we interview influencers. We interview Charleston White, crazy ass.
I don't know who that is.
You know Charleston White?
No.
The guy on the internet who's starting out a drama with everybody. But anyway, he's against gang members, and I hate all gang members.
I know that guy. I love the black guy. He's yeah. He's great.
We interview him.
He's great. He was on Vlad.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hardcore.
So my other channel, TTOM TV, is my other channel, and we interview him. It did well. It did well. I said it did like over 300,000 views on several clips. So it's over 1 million views. I did an hour interview with him. We made it like 4 different clips, and it did good, man. It's funny as hell. But I had a bunch of questions for him because he was like, I don't like rappers and gang members. So I was like, so I just do content now, man. I came across your channel because I like to see people's stories and people that been through what I've been through. And I watched a bunch of your stories, and I was like, I want to tell my story on Matthew Kitt channel.
Do you have a TikTok? You do TikTok?
I do have a TikTok, but I'm just not big on it. I'm bigger on Instagram.
So TikTok, like I had a guy in Canada start my TikTok, right? He contacted me. I had one before this young kid was running for me, and he just didn't seem to understand that certain things you just can't say. And he just putting up the clips. Right. And then suddenly, boom, they took the whole TikTok. They gave multiple warnings. So
you can't curse, you gotta edit the cursing out and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't talk about guns. You can't talk about all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So, well, I mean, you can and you can't. It depends. But anyway, so then I didn't even fuck with it for a while. Then this guy from Canada said, "Hey, can I run a TikTok channel for you, and I'll direct all the traffic to your YouTube
And he
channel."
just asked you, he just offered his services to you.
Just offered. And this is the problem. I've had people do that before, and here, what happens is most of the time they just fall off. They say they're going to do it, and 2 weeks later they're like, it's too much work.
Right.
They intend. I get it. It's not they're not being jerks. Their intention is, what
they just don't know what it takes to run people's stuff. It takes work.
Right. And I can't pay you. Like, I'm like, look, I'm not paying somebody $450 a month to run a TikTok.
Right.
Like, I'm just not doing it. So, it reminds me of all your buddies in prison that left, that said, "Man, I'm gonna put money on your books. I'm gonna write you letters. And then you get the one phone call, and you might get $20 one day, maybe, and then they don't answer the phone anymore.
Right.
And all the stuff they were gonna do, they don't do none of it.
None of it.
But at the time, they meant it. Like, I always like to think that, listen, like, those guys. It's like, look, I get it, and I get what you're saying, but you'll get out there, life will take over. You got two kids, you got a girlfriend, you got your mom needs you help, and next thing it's like, do I really need to be busting my ass working and sending this fucking guy in prison money, every month? Like, I got 2 kids, man.
Right.
So I get it. So people reach out and they try and help, and they don't realize what it takes, and they make these huge offers. And every time I've taken people up on it, they fall short. Well, anyway, this guy in Canada, when I talked to him, he actually like pled his case. Like, he was like, look, I'm in real estate. I do okay, but it's dropped off dramatically. He said, I'd like to ultimately do something in social media, and I think that I could take your content and run a channel, and I'd really like to do it just to see how it goes. And I was like, okay, like, you're not sitting there lying to me, and telling me, I'm gonna this and that. And
right.
Anyway, and he's like, look, I'll do it for 6 months, and in 6 months, if you want to pay me, great. If not, I'll just hand it over to you. So I was like, okay. He did it for about 4 months. Took it from started the channel. Actually, started 2 channels. One of the channels never did great. It ended up with 10,000 followers. The other one, he brought it all the way up to about 104,000, 104,000, which I'm at in 3 months.
Wow.
3 to 4 months. Then real estate picked up in Canada. He started working more. He didn't post anything for like 2 weeks. And I contacted him. I said, bro, what's going on? He goes, man, I'm so sorry. Work has picked up. I said, was it a matter of me, do you need me money? Like, he's like, no, even if you gave me money, I just don't have the time to do it. Like, even if you paid me, I still have to work this many hours to keep my job. And he said, let me just hand it back to you. So he handed it over to me. Took us another month. So I didn't post anything for over probably 4 to 6 weeks. We hired a guy. We started posting. But I can tell you right now, so by the way, we've been posting for 2 weeks. The first time and listen, but let me tell you, that TikTok, some of those videos have 6 million views, 2 million views, 4 million views. It's huge. Like, that thing went to 100,000 followers. And I could tell when he would post a TikTok that did well, you could literally see my subscribers on my YouTube channel just spike for like a week. And then the moment it slowed down, it started dropping.
Yo.
So, direct correlation, bro. Here's the thing. When he stopped for the 6 weeks and we started posting, the new videos we were posting were getting 2,000 views, 3,500 views, 2,200 views for 2 weeks. 2 days ago, because we posted for 2 weeks, 2 days ago, the last video, 150,000 views, 160,000 views. So I don't know what happened. I think it's almost like the algorithm says, okay, he's serious again.
Right.
Start pushing.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if you do it, it's worth it. It took him about a month before it took off, but when it did, man, it went nuts.
And everybody is telling me this. You got to go with TikToks. Leave Instagram alone for right now. Like, don't spend so much time on it. Because I spent a lot of time on Instagram, and they just took the reels away. The money for reels, you can't make money no more.
Yeah,
my Instagram monetized. So everybody's saying, bro, go to TikTok, it'll boost your YouTube. So I'm gonna have to go there, man. But like, how does he edit the content? Like, does he put a twist on it, or does he just do it how your interviews? Or like, what does he do?
Yeah, he'll try and make like a story, take a story and shove it into 1 minute, because we also put them on Shorts and Instagram. But, you know, what are Shorts going to get? You know, 2,500 views, 6,000 views, maybe.
Right.
You know, most of them are 2,000 or 3,000. Instagram, if it does really well, maybe it gets 50,000, 30,000. That's nothing compared to TikTok. TikTok will get.
The reason I took YouTube seriously again, because I was just on Instagram and I was just running to my other page with the interviews. Because we actually made a couple $1,000s a month on it with Charles, the dude I interviewed.
Yeah.
That page I interviewed different people who's in the hip hop industry, but not rappers though, but like who got the stories. But we made a decent money on that page. But this BMG Capo official page, I had 300 subscribers, 300 in December last year. I posted. I was watching a podcast, and somebody said, "Hey, you want to grow your YouTube channel? Use Shorts. Shorts is the best way to get to a lot of traffic and quick." So the first short I made, after I watched that, it went viral. I thought it was regular, like I'm like, what? This is what Shorts do? Like the first short I made did 500,000 views.
Whoa.
700 shares, 18,000 likes, type 1,000 subscribers from that one short.
Yeah, I don't have nothing like that.
I posted another short, but it's not my own content. I just covered the story of these rappers, and I just put the pictures of them from different places, and I put the story together, like you said, in 1 minute with a hook. You know, right. This is Gucci Man. This is what he did. He's finna go do this, and I did that twice, and it went viral. And those two clips got my channel from 300 to like 2,800 subscribers of those two clips. So I know the power of it, especially like TikTok is bigger too. But like right now I'm at like almost 5,000. So I'm trying to get where you are though on YouTube.
Yeah, but you could tell your story. You know, the only problem with the way you tell your story is like, you know, and I kept waiting for you to do this, and I should have slowed you down. Like I'm a horrible interviewer, bro. I'm not a great interviewer.
Good.
Like Danny with Concrete or somebody, they would have done a better job, because, you know, I'm kind of like just listening to this story, and I need to kind of try and slow you down. Like I should have asked you like now I'm thinking I should have said like, well, how did you know it was a cop's house? How long did you watch it? Weren't you scared? Were you, you know, I didn't do that, and I really should. I got to get better at this. But like if you slowly told your story in little 30-minute clips, and maybe you fill it up. I mean slowly, like talk about, I hit this house and then this one, and then that's it. That's the whole clip. Spread it out over 20, 30 minutes, post it. If you did that for 10 till you get all the way to where you are, let's say 10 short videos, then you started just interview other guys, other hip hop guys, and their story, and just put, it doesn't even matter if it's really a shitty video. What's most important is the sound quality, because people will watch shitty video with good sound quality, but they will not watch great videos, great video quality with shitty audio. They won't do it. So it doesn't matter if your camera's messed up and it's not high quality and it's cockeyed. That doesn't matter. What matters is get decent sound quality and just interview other hip hop guys that are like starting out, and post it on YouTube and make little shorts about it and put it on TikTok. TikTok will drive the traffic. And then once you get to 10,000 followers, you can put a link, and then they just hit the link and it brings them straight to your YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Because trust me, once you put that link on there, and I have a link tree, because it'll, you know, you go to Linktree and then you can either go to YouTube, you can go to here. But regardless, once you do that, man, I'm telling you right now, you can see it. And every once in a while, you're going to get some clip of some guy that's blowing up, and you can use their music. They'll do it because you can say, man, I want to tell the clip with your music in the background. These guys will line up to do that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You can do it from your house, just like this with StreamYard.
That's cool.
I'm just saying
yeah, I got to get StreamYard. I like StreamYard.
I think it's like $30. It's nothing. It's like 20 or $30 a month or something. It's
Okay, cool.
it's totally worth it.
You on your way to getting your plaque, man. YouTube gonna send you a plaque soon, man. You get that 100,000.
I'm telling you, I'm shadow banned. I'm
Thank.
shadow banned. I think I'm shadow banned. Like everybody says, man, why isn't like it's been 2 years? You should have 100,000, 200,000. Your video should get, and they're just not. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I'm look, like, here's the thing. I don't care if it takes another 2 years. Like, I like doing it. It's just now at the point where it's paying my bills. Pretty much not great. Like I have to do other stuff, but
Right.
a few more months, 6 months from now,
Yeah.
it'll pay all my bills. When that happens, I'll double down, and I won't be doing 3 interviews a week. I'll be doing 4 and 5, and then it'll blow up.
There you go.
But I have time, like, you know, like
There
this
you
is the fact that I'm doing this and then they're paying me money
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, laying on in your bunk in prison, you're like, how am I going to make a living?
Right.
You know, like, how am I even going to get by? So the idea that I'm living in a nice house, I have a new car, I actually have a new house. Like this house was built a couple years ago.
Does your
Like,
TikTok make money too?
Huh?
Does your TikTok make money?
I never monetized it because the guy in Canada told me don't monetize it. He said and look, it could have been his opinion. Well, it might have been his opinion. I don't know. I just
said you monetize it, they're gonna try to stop it from making money. Like they're not gonna let it get big. Like what did he say?
He said they won't push your content as much, or they'll slow it down.
I believe that. I believe that because look, on YouTube I make reels. I mean, Instagram I make reels. I'm monetized. Some of them I get to 5,000-10,000 views and they just slow down. But I look at this page over here that's not monetized. These reels go 80,000, 100K, but they're not. So I really feel like on those TikTok, Instagram, if you're monetized, they don't want to pay you that much money. So they're not going to push your shit to just, you know, it's the content that's not monetized that they probably just push. I don't know. That's what it seems like. It could not be true, but that seems like it makes sense to me. But you could make money off TikTok, but you could try it.
Well, listen, the money
because you got enough followers now to do so.
You know, the money on TikTok and the money in comparison to YouTube is there's no way you're going to make the same amount of money. First of all, there's no way that a 2 or 3 minute TikTok is going to make as much as a 2-hour video on YouTube. You know, but although what I've heard is you can go live, like going live on TikTok is good. People can donate and you can make money doing that. So
another thing you could do on your channel too that will help you out a lot, and it will probably get you a lot of views because the name of your channel is cool, True Crime. I like all that. You could cover stories of guys that's in prison or out of prison, but they don't have to tell you their story. You could just like cover it and do a voiceover and just have like images of the scene and just.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen the guys that do that.
People like stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know that takes a long time. That's a lot of editing. Like that's a lot.
You do your own editing?
Yeah. Well, not for the channel so much. Like I do my own not my own TikTok. I do a lot of shorts and TikToks. Gotcha. I can do my own editing, but for the channel, I have a video editor, Colby. Colby does all the editing for the channel.
Oh, okay, cool.
I make TikToks and, you know, I make shorts every once in a while, and I can edit.
But you're right, though. Like, if you did a story for an hour, yeah, that'll take a lot of editing. But if you did maybe a 15 minutes, 20-minute story, but that's really thrilling with the music and I don't know, just thinking of some ways you could do some different stuff where you ain't got to always do interviews. So when you don't got time, or just say if like, even if it took him, even if you got to pay $150 to make a 30-minute good story video, it'll probably do a lot of views and it won't throw off your niche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I like doing the interviews.
Yeah, so for sure.
What software do you use?
To edit with?
Yeah.
Adobe.
Oh, okay.
But on my phone, I ain't gonna lie, I like editing on my phone better.
Really? I use Final Cut Pro. I just use it on my MacBook.
I'm not good on a computer. I can edit some stuff on my phone. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I've seen guys use.
I can put the sound effects and have shit popping up when I talk, and I'm good on my phone. I use like Vlogstar, and I use iMovie on iPhone. I mean, really, iMovie is really easy, and I use it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I started on the MacBook with iMovie. Final Cut, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
My only problem was you could only stack like 2 on top with iMovie, and sometimes I'm stacking 2, 3, 4 different feeds. But
I haven't learned how to do the overlays on iMovie.
yeah,
Like how you put.
you gotta figure that out. You got to do that.
Yeah, I
That
could do it
changes
on.
everything.
Right.
Changes.
Right.
All right. I mean, we're good. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
I don't think anybody watching really wants to hear us talk about our YouTube channel. So,
right.
They might. It's fine. If they watched this far, they probably are. They're probably okay with it.
We're good, man. For sure. And I got a bunch of homeboys you might get interview soon. I got a good story coming out, man. It's a rapper. His name is T Grizzly. He's real famous, but he came up rapping somebody else's life that went to jail, and they're gonna give me the interview from jail and prove to the world this rapper is rapping their life. It's gonna be real cool.
All right.
It's gonna be real cool.
Well, look, if you have anybody that's interested in telling their story, like, let me know.
I'll send them your way.
All right. Well, hey,
let
me wrap this up. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you contacting me. So, hey, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And if you like the video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos like this. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Colby's going to leave the links with Capo's YouTube and Instagram and all his social media in the description box. I appreciate you guys watching. See ya.